Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm hearing all kinds of drama. Russell Westbrook firing his agent, and the tweets that Rich Paul and Bron have tweeted out, I guess, are somewhat related to that somehow. It's all speculation at this point. The agent released a statement on Twitter. I'm locked out of my Twitter account, by the way, for those who are wondering if I have a Twitter, completely locked out of it. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I haven't been able to log into that thing in a very, very, very long time and haven't created a new one. So, yeah, I got to get locked in on that. But never mind that. Point is, something was released by the agent, and that statement, I guess, is essentially saying that he's protecting his name, saying he did the best he could for his client, more or less. So that was the gist of what I took from the news. So at this point, I don't really know exactly what to think of what I'm hearing, other than to say I'm pretty certain Russell Westbrook will be traded before the season starts. But I already thought that. So, on one hand, I'm saying this is probably just strummed up nonsense to keep us engaged in the NBA. Just manufactured drama that it really isn't drama at all. On the other hand, this could be drama and we could have an issue, and it's just one more thing that Jeannie Buss is probably going to be tired of in regards to LeBron James' tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers. But I'm at a mindset where I'm just going to wait for what is to come, in terms of news. Official reports and things like that have not dropped, so I'm just listening to the normal sources that I always listen to. Ticket TV is reporting on the situation now, so that's where I'm getting my information from. I've heard other stuff from friends and stuff like that, but nothing concrete, so it's all hearsay. At the end of the day, honestly, I don't really know what to say. When the facts come out, we'll know how serious this actually is. But at this point, Russ's agent is no longer a part of his professional situation, and that's interesting because Russell has had this agent for a very, very, very long time, from what I understand. So, I don't know. This is one of those situations where you look at Russell Westbrook and you say, man, if the reports are true, people are essentially saying that Russell feels betrayed. But my thing is that I don't believe that. I think that is leading itself to being manufactured bullcrap. Why do I say that? Because who doesn't know Russell Westbrook struggled with the Lakers last year? Who doesn't know that he has a $47 million contract that the Lakers would like to get out from under? Who doesn't know that he's a bad fit for this basketball team? Who doesn't know that the fans want him out of here? I'm sure Russell Westbrook is aware of all of these things. I'm certain of that. So if they're trying to sell us on the notion that LeBron was trying to go behind his back and get him traded, I just know better. Just know better. The man was wearing a Spur ensemble on IG 2 weeks ago. So all of this is, yeah, I'm probably spoiling it for you guys. It's supposed to be really suspenseful, but honestly, this is more clout chasing the NBA's doing to keep us engaged when the season's out. This is literally nothing. This is absolutely nothing. LeBron James, I guess, released a statement on the shop saying he's tired of players who don't have the urgency to win now, the expectations to win a championship. And we know Russell Westbrook mentioned, as he was asked, what are his expectations? He didn't have any expectations for joining the Lakers, so that's directly connected. And of course, LeBron knows that. And he's talking about Russell Westbrook, and I guess Russell Westbrook got a whiff of that, and now is feeling betrayed. That just seems so, I don't know. That's scripted, man. That's not what actually goes on behind the scenes with situations like this. You just know better. That's not how it actually goes. But whatever. That's what they're selling us. So have at it, you guys. Now that I guess they're beefing. I think the truth of the matter is, I think that statement was probably made and that thing was probably taped. The show was probably taped months ago. I think he probably responded to that as soon as he heard Westbrook say it. It was probably his initial response to it. And look, man, I felt the same way about that too. To be honest with you, I just feel like when you come to the Los Angeles Lakers, you don't have expectations to win. You're in the wrong spot. And obviously, every team has its rebuilding phase. Obviously, every team has to go through the different, levels of what success means. But when you come here, either we're building for a championship or we're trying to establish a foundation to build a championship. And so if those expectations aren't yours, then you're putting on the wrong jersey. You probably should consider that. So I agree with LeBron James in that regard. We gotta win now. His timeline is that we win now, and we really don't have time for too many more mistakes. We've already made enough of them. So if I'm too inclined to believe all of this took place and LeBron James is behind the scenes secretly trying to move Russell Westbrook, and all of this is some strummed up way to ultimately push the Lakers into making a trade to get Kyrie Irving, I just don't think it's necessary. If I'm gonna believe that in the scenario, I would look at LeBron and say, none of that's necessary, bro. You don't have to do any of that. And I know he knows that, which is why I think this is strummed up nonsense. I think everybody's doing their part. Just like I said, everybody has to do their part to keep the NBA promoted during this time where there's nothing to watch. I'm sorry, it's understood. They got to figure out. They got to go back to the drawing board because everybody knows. You know what I mean? We see it scripted. So it's like, I'm with Draymond in the sense that we don't need to do this. I mean, it's fun to a degree, but not when we know it's scripted. So it's like, I don't know, man. So, yeah, let's get back on board and assume this is true. What will need to happen now is the Lakers obviously need to trade Russell Westbrook. From what I understand, he's going to demand a trade or has already demanded a trade. I don't know if that's actually accurate at all, but either way, it just seems kind of redundant to me, Like, for me, it's one of those situations where if I'm going to assume this is real, then I got to start talking to people in ways that is almost like I'm disappointed that they don't understand certain things. It's one of those type of tones that I would speak with. It's like, Russell, you don't know we want you out of here, bro? Like, come on, man. Don't be disappointed in us wanting to improve our situation as it pertains to seeing what you provided and not being pleased with it based on what it is you represent in the cap. I mean, we're trying to win a championship. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't have time to give it another try to see if some of those mistakes are going to be made again. We don't have the time. You know what I mean? So it's like, in this situation, I'm saying, you really, really believe that Darvin Ham really actually wants to bring you back? Like, no, he doesn't. That's something he has to say to us for the obvious reasons, because we're trying to keep his value up. We're trying to, there's certain things that are necessary in business that sometimes betray ethics as we know it in the world. If certain people know certain information in the course of business, then it can leak out to other areas, and that could be a bad thing. Maybe if somebody has a point of view, maybe they can use that point of view to kind of mess the situation up, so people are going to manipulate above them to assure it never happens, to assure they don't know what they need to know to make things smooth. I mean, it's wrong, it's not right, but it's being practiced all over the world all the time. This is just how the world tends to operate, and the NBA operates that way as well. So if people were trying to keep Russell Westbrook from knowing that he needed to be traded, it's unfortunate. But the fact of the matter is, anybody who with their focus on the NBA and the Lakers situation could clearly see that Russell Westbrook needed to be traded. So if Russell wasn't able to see that, then there's something seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Okay? So that's that's the most important thing we need to talk about, is how incredibly wrong that is. Okay? And then the next aspect of it is, so you want to come back to the situation where he struggled so poorly? Like, I can't imagine he does. So why would he be hurt by the notion that others want him gone when I would think he should want to be gone too? Now, maybe in his mind he wants to come back and redeem himself, but I don't think the fit is very good, so the likelihood he would do that would be slim to none. If I'm thinking logically, I'd want a fresh start somewhere else with a better fit if I'm Russell Westbrook, to further prove that I'm not what you just saw, not to put myself back in that fit and then try to work my way out of it. That's why it didn't work, because it was a bad fit. So I'm not inclined to believe that Russell Westbrook is this type of person. Like, I know they want to paint him out to be this way, and I know he struggled last year and all of that, but I don't want to believe his denial runs this deep. That's what I'm trying to say to everybody. I don't want to believe that his denial runs this deep, because this is a dangerously deep level of denial, I think we're talking about here. And so, if he's really caught off guard by the notion that people want him gone, then it just further reinforces the need for him to leave, because people have to dance around the obvious to maintain civility with this human being, and that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. And so self-awareness is such a very important trait, and so we all need to seek it in whatever way, shape, and form, in whatever way possible. And this is why, because it really puts a strain on the environment around you, and then so on and so forth. So that's just something I see there. And I don't know if this just circles back to the aspect of what it means to keep certain information from certain people in certain situations. Now, if LeBron James comes to him and says, Russell, you've been stinking up the joint, we really want you to leave, maybe that conversation goes well, maybe it doesn't. But in doing so, he shows his hand as it pertains to certain aspects of the negotiations that are going on behind the scenes with other things. There are different things that fall into place once Russell Westbrook is aware of what his value is to the franchise and to LeBron James. So it changes things. It changes things from a strategic standpoint, and it can mess plans up. And so, because I understand that, I just look at their tweets. They say it's a cold game. I say the same thing. It's a cold game. It's a cold game, man. People are expected to understand certain things that they are never explained. That's the nature of the business. And so, in this case, I'd imagine it would be Russell Westbrook's place on this roster, And I feel this is one of those situations where I'm like, man, if Russell Westbrook followed BDF 44, he wouldn't have no questions about whether or not people want him around, or whether or not LeBron James will want him, and all that stuff, because some of this stuff is just easy to see, man. These tea leaves will let you see some of this stuff. You don't even need to be in the situation too close. You can just kind of tell based on what's around the situation, and that has always pointed at Russell Westbrook moving on from the Los Angeles Lakers. Even if he didn't struggle last year, we'd probably want to move on from that contract just based on it. So, I don't know. All of that points to this just being, once again, manufactured bull crap. Keep our attention during the off season. So, that's what I'm inclined to believe this is. But I do wish everybody well. Obviously, if you guys follow me, you saw that I made a video basically giving LeBron James his flowers and his respect. And I hope that holds up well, man. I hope it holds up well. I'd like to think that this situation doesn't reveal bad things about Bron, you know what I mean? Given the fact that agents are upset about things, and it's being reported that agents have, the agent behind the scenes with Russell Westbrook, Ticket TV, is essentially saying that agent has been working in LeBron's favor, try to get Russell Westbrook out. So if that's what's going on, if that's what's being alleged, it has legal ramifications, and so I hope all of this is just not true. That's basically what I'm saying. I hope this is manufactured bull crap, and it does not run as deep as Ticket is saying it does. So that's the truth of the matter, you guys. And also, the Lakers played Summer League tonight. Since we're talking about the Lakers, I didn't see the highlights. I have yet to get to that. I'm definitely going to. I heard Cole Swider had 5 threes. Jay Huff is back from health and safety protocol, so we're very happy that he's back, and I hear he had a big game. So that is tremendous. Lakers beat the Pelicans. Pelicans looked like they were on their way to the championship. We stopped them in their tracks. So that is a very big deal, and I was thoroughly pleased with this Summer League team. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Just kind of weigh in on the little that I understand about this situation. As details emerge, I'm pretty sure my opinion will morph. But for now, I just don't really buy a whole lot of anything right now. Nothing. I don't think any of this is as difficult as it seems. Hell, I think everything that has taken place since the decision in regards to the summertime has had a little extra flair to it. And so why would this be any different? Braun knows what he's doing. That's what I will say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.